Welcome back to the Microsoft Teams experience. And today we're going to be talking about what Microsoft Teams is actually used for. Um, I personally think if I had to define it, it's a productivity app. Kirsten might differ with me. So Kirsten, what do you think it is?
I would definitely agree that it's like a productivity app. I guess if you like looked it up in the App Store, I'm sure it would like fall under there. But I'd also say it's just kind of like this centralized hub that organizations can use now, not just for communication, but for collaboration and really like getting projects done and just staying up to date with really almost everything nowadays.
I love that. A centralized hub for collaboration. That really actually just defines Microsoft Teams. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Um, Yeah, so I mean, there's so many features and functionalities with it that I would imagine a lot of people. I'd also imagine a lot of people don't even realize that they have Microsoft Teams, right? Because isn't it included with like an Office 365 subscription or something like that?
Yeah, so it's included in like Microsoft's Business Standard and Microsoft Business Basic, which is really the most common license we see for 365 for small to medium-sized businesses. So there's a possibility that you're using that for your, Office apps and your Exchange Online mailbox, and you don't even realize that you have the option to have Teams.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool. So if I'm using Microsoft Teams and I'm using it and whatnot and passing messages back and forth and just doing projects on there or whatever it is, is that stuff saved in Microsoft Teams or is it downloaded to my computer and saved? How does that work?
So like if you and I were like chatting back and forth and let's say like we shared files on a project we're working on, um, those files would actually be saved in OneDrive. You're gonna see like a folder in your OneDrive account, your business OneDrive account, that's gonna say like Microsoft Teams chat files. And then if you go in there, that's where you're gonna see all the files that you've exchanged with other users. So that's really helpful because I've had a lot of people who just scroll to the top of a message looking for files. You can also go into this other tab that's in the message that will say files and it will list it for you. But if you're ever in like a rush and you're like, where can I go to get this quickly? It's going to be in your OneDrive.
Really?
Hmm.
That's pretty cool. Now, isn't Teams also kind of built on, I don't want to say built on the SharePoint platform, but it also uses the SharePoint platform?
Yeah,
Uh,
100%. So the teams that are within teams, so you can create like, departments or like, little project bubbles that people can meet in. Those are completely based on what's called 365 like groups. So you can create the group in, your 365 admin center. And what it is creating like a SharePoint site, SharePoint online site. And then if you are in like a team on team, and you're collaborating, let's say you got a big project and you're sharing all this data with your teammates, that data is being saved up onto that SharePoint online site.
Nice. I think Microsoft may need to rethink the Teams in Microsoft Teams
I know.
kind of thing, right? Makes you think a whole bunch of different ways. It's kind of crazy, a little bit confusing there, Microsoft. Get on the ball here.
I know, right?
Oh, crazy. So is there anything else that we should know about Microsoft Teams then as um, what it is or whatnot?
Another thing I do get a lot of questions for is you can record sessions. So let's say you're meeting with someone, doing a training session, you want to record the meeting. You absolutely can record it. And that's also going to be saved into your OneDrive. There's going to be a folder that just says recordings. And it might take a little bit of a delay, let's say like maybe like 5 minutes before when you end the recording to when it will be available for you. And sometimes you'll even notified in like that meeting that you had, like your recording is now available. Before they had that on another service and they actually moved that over in about, I think it was like October or November, they made the switch over to OneDrive.
Yeah.
And to me, it makes sense, having it in OneDrive if you're already, saving your chat files there. Why not have just like a folder for recordings? And you don't have to tell it where to save. As soon as you start recording and you finish your recording, it's just going to automatically like save it in that same spot every time.
Yeah, I think the old service might have been called Microsoft Stream, if
Yeah,
I'm
something like that, like Stream or Streamers or
yeah, something. And since we're speaking about videos, maybe I haven't noticed this functionality yet, but the one pet peeve I have with them is you can't watch the video in the actual chat. You right.
You
I
have
don't
to
know
like
if I'm doing it.
open it up.
Yeah. Come on again, Microsoft. All
Yeah.
this wonderful functionality, but some of these little things, it's kind of brutal.
Yeah. It's the one thing I do like though is because it's going up into OneDrive. If you're familiar with sharing files in OneDrive with like other parties, like it's the exact same sharing method where you can either download it directly and share it out that way. What I usually do with my customers is just share out the link and then
Mhm.
set a password with like an expiration date and allow them to download it. That way they can just log in, download it themselves, save it so that they can rewatch whatever training session we did together as much as they need to.
Nice. So does that mean that if they're part of the chat in the meeting, do they automatically have access to the videos? No, you have
It's
to still
going
give them
into,
permission.
yeah, it's going into your, it's like if you're the meeting presenter, it's going
Mhm.
into your OneDrive account. And then from there, you'll just need to share it out. And there's a variety ways of sharing it. You can give the person direct access, you can share the link with them, you can download it and share it through another way. I like the little link way, and then I usually share my password in an encrypted message, and then from there they can go ahead and download it themselves.
UIT people, encrypted message, passwords. Can't just share the link, can you?
No.
Oh, that's great. All right. Well, I guess that about sums it up then. What Microsoft Teams is, right? Do we miss anything? Anything else you want to throw in there? Are we good to go?
No, I think we can save it for another session.
All right. Sounds good. Talk to everybody later.